And this video is actually very informative and interesting.
When you go to that, you also have to find out what you want to stand for. Like, every reviewer has some sort of style that works for them. Some review good and bad episodes, some analyze like certain parts. What do you want to stand for, though? That's one of the big questions that you have to ask yourself. Do you want to stand for blasting all the characters just because you want to find some way to nitpick them? Hi, Digi. I hope Digi isn't here. Oh, shoot. Oh, hi, Digi.
This seems interesting. Oh, hey. Whoa. Ah, damn it. I should have known you were coming to see me. I mean, you are me. So. I'm just popping in to check on what you're doing, and... Is this what I think it is? Yeah, I'm watching a very interesting panel on how to be a brony analyst. Or just an analyst. And why are you doing this? Do you want to, I don't know, become an analyst and analyze the show or something? Say, yeah, how about we make it? Really, it wouldn't be that hard. I mean, you're there already. In my computer, I can get you into a show, and because you're me, we can analyze it through you. I don't know. I'm not sure I'd be comfortable doing something like this. I mean, it would be a new step for me, and honestly, I'm not ready. I'm not sure if I'm ready for it. And I've got the perfect episode to start with. I mean, the season 5 premiere just came out, and I was already going to be doing this anyway without your permission, but now that you're okay. You're just ignoring me, aren't you? Just because I'm in the computer doesn't mean I don't realize what's going on. I mean, seriously, start taking my feelings into consideration, please. Well, are you okay with it? Why am I asking you? Of course you're okay with it. You're me. I came up with the idea. That means you like the idea. Well, you're not gonna listen to me anyway, so... But I'll go along with it. Alright. Here. Now, give me a second. Hey everyone, Zero here. Yeah. I'm gonna be starting some MLP reviews, and I'm gonna kick off my debut with the Season 5 premiere. Why not? And hopefully one day I can eventually get to the level of the 4 I'm watching here. Josh Scorcher, Toon Critic, Eliora, Voice of Reason, and all the others. And why? Golden Fox, Ink Rose, Digi, Toon... no, Tommy Oliver. Damn. I didn't mean to mess up that line. Oh. And hopefully I can work with them in the future. I mean, it would be nice to actually be able to collab, but I understand. Right now, I'm just starting off. So, let's get started. Sure, let's get started. Now, cue the new intro. Hey everyone, Zero here, and I just let my critical side show. Why don't you? Anyway, yeah, I'm really late on this, but I made the little special thing in the beginning before my new intro for this series. The problem is, I made that before the first episode of season 5 came out, and then Sony Vegas crashed, and then I got sick, and then school and other stuff. This is the first chance I've actually got time and everything's working, so let's not wait anymore and get right into the first episode of the premiere of season 5 of MLP Friendship is Magic, the Cutie map. Although if they stuck with Cutie markerless, it would be a lot cooler. The story starts off with the main 6 contemplating about the new castle and why it is there. Or Twilight is, while the rest of the main 6 argue that the castle is probably just their new home and there is nothing more to it. While they are all arguing, a map is summoned inside the main chamber of the castle, which showcases the whole land of Equestria. While examining this map, holographic versions of her cutie marks float over the map and lead from Ponyville to somewhere in the middle of nowhere in Equestria. Twilight then brings up all of the old plot devices from last season that led to the map. This being giving up the cutie marks into the Tree of Harmony, which made the chest appear, to which they found all 6 keys for, which created the castle that now made the map. Twilight uses this as a reason to follow the map, and the rest of the main 6 make excuses to join her on her adventure. Well, all except Fluttershy, who wants to stay behind, until Spike mentions that she can hang with him and Big Macintosh while they watch and talk about a sport called hoofball. This makes me wonder whether this sport is based off football or basketball or even another sport that ends with ball. Not only does this episode make new headcanons, but it subtly calls out and crushes all Fluttermax shippers when she says, "Never mind, I will go with the rest of the main 6. At least, that's what I take from it. Anyway, the main 6 head out by train to this mysterious village in the middle of nowhere, where every one of the main 6 has a different first impression of this village. Only 2 noticing that there is an issue. This being Twilight, for the obvious reason of everyone having similar key marks, and Pinkie Pie. Nah, I wasn't really shocked by this. Never did I find it funny that she was upset about the supposed fake smiles, poking fun at her wanting everyone to smile, except when she doesn't. That's the joke the fandom keeps making anyway. It is a normal part of her character to know how others are feeling and wanting them to be truly happy and having fun, along with knowing their true intentions.
Yeah! It'll be so amazing! You'd be there on stage, basking in the hoplights, the center of attention, a shining star, with every pony staring at you, judging you, jealously noting how they could be way better than you. Why wasn't it them? Why wasn't it them? And then, when you choke, they'll turn on you, becoming a seething, angry mob, and you'll be horribly humiliated, never able to show your face in Ponyville again!
Okay, this isn't always the case, but it is portrayed that way most other times. Interesting. The main 6 enter the town and are welcomed with identical emotionless welcomes, and after introductions with 2 stallions named Party Favor and Double Diamond, the main 6 are brought to the cabin of the founder of the village, Starlight Glimmer, whose name is another version of Twilight's name run through a thesaurus, meaning she's going to be a foil for Twilight. Anyway, Starlight Glimmer tells the main 6 that through their perfect equality, they have achieved true friendship, which causes Twilight to worry and think that there is something going on. The main 6 start going about the village and talking, and then start arguing over the simplest trivial matter in front of a muffin shop owner named Sugarbell, who is listening to them and is then confused when they make up so easily. She explains how they are all told that different cutie marks lead to arguing and pain, and differences and can lead to the destruction of friendship. She then tells the main six to meet her downstairs, and when they go down to meet with Sugar Belle, they see that Party Favor is also there, along with a new pony named Night Glider. They explain how they miss their kitty marks, but they are happy as they are and don't want to ruin anything, and how their cutie marks were removed through the cutie unmarking, as they call it. They also mention a vault that all their cutie marks are placed into, and they are curious to go find out what it's about. The main six follow Starlight into the vault after asking to see it, and when Starlight asks how they found out about the vault, Pinkie lets slip that some ponies wanted their cutie marks back and told them about the vault. This causes Starlight to forcefully remove all of her key marks and lock them in a cabin with a surround sound speaker set up projecting a propaganda message meant to brainwash them, just as if they were in a concentration camp. Nice job, DHX. Nice job. Wait, is it DHX still? During this time they are in there, we see how the loss of her cutie marks affect the main six. Rarity not being able to tell if something looks good or not, Pinkie Pie not being over the top, Fluttershy not being able to communicate with animals, and Applejack loses her countryisms. Interesting. After what seems like a while in time because of this small lighting effect, Twilight mentions they only need to pretend that they're converted to be let out. And after it's brought up that none of them will be believed, Twilight says, no, they'll believe Fluttershy. She's been complimenting the town since we have arrived. Fluttershy, though scared at first, inevitably accepts just before Starlight enters, and she ends up missing the conversation. Starlight brings the main six outside in front of the whole village, asking if any of them were willing to join the village now. When the main six decline, mentioning that they will get their cutie marks back, Starlight shoves them all back into the cabin. At least, she is about to, when all of a sudden Fluttershy channels her inner Katniss Everdeen and volunteers as tribute. Says she wants to join their village? The whole village believes her, except for Starlight, I assume. I feel this way because she immediately asks Fluttershy to point out which members of her village betrayed the information about the Cutie Mark Vault to them. Luckily for Fluttershy, the main six as well, the one stallion Party Favor gives himself up to save his friends, sparing Fluttershy the task of ratting them out, and saving the whole mission. Well, lucky save there, huh, Twilight? Starlight leads Fluttershy to her cottage, half to watch her, and half because she doesn't have a cottage of her own yet, and needs a place to stay. Her worrying about Fluttershy possibly faking her conversion, however, leads Starlight to have Double Diamond go fetch her cutie marks, put them in jars, and bring them back to her, just so the main six can't get them in case Fluttershy is going to betray Starlight. She then asks Double Diamond to leave, who just misses Fluttershy, who's watching through a window after escaping through a chimney, which is very interesting. Fluttershy then hears a loud crash noise and flies up to go look at what is really going on and sees that Starlight...
What a twist!
The next day, Starlight gathers everyone to see if any others from the main six will join them, and when none do, Starlight says that they will try again the next day, when Fluttershy offers to lock them in herself. How Starlight doesn't see that this is a ruse, I don't understand, but oh well. Party Vapor is then asked to join the village, which he easily obliges. Fluttershy then calls out that they apparently have one more person joining them, as Twilight trots out as a distraction, while Fluttershy somehow leaves, gets a bucket of water, comes back, and is not noticed to be missing by anyone from the crowd. Well, they were all focused on Twilight, so I guess I can give this a pass. Fluttershy throws the water at Starlight, but it misses her, all but one drop, which hits her plot perfectly and shows something is wrong to Party Favor, who wipes his cloak there to reveal to the whole town that she has a cutie mark. Twilight at this time tries to give a friendship moral to the whole town, but is interrupted by Starlight, who is then cornered and runs into her house instead of teleporting. I'll get to that later. The members of the village all run to the vault where Double Diamond throws the powerless stick, which was faked to be a magical item to remove cutie marks, at the vault, and causes it to shatter, returning all of the cutie marks to their owners, as well as changing their main styles and lightening their colors. While this is happening, Starlight takes the cutie marks of the main six and escapes through a secret passage underground, which is kept on the second floor. Odd. The main six try to break into Starlight's house, but to no avail because they don't have any of her special talents. When Night Glider whistles to them and tells them to stand back as she flies through a door, creating an entryway. Fluttershy goes to where she last saw the cutie marks the night before and notices they are gone and that Starlight forgot to cover her exit. What an idiot. They run through and see a mountain passage on the other side, where Party Favor makes binoculars out of balloons and sees that Starlight is running down a path a little ways away. So, let me get this straight. All party ponies, no matter their species, have the ability to break reality and the fourth wall. New headcanon. The main six are unable to keep up with the 4 villagers who are helping them at this time, and must rely on them to get their cutie marks back. We get a chase scene and a little hint at what each of the 4 villagers' talents were, until they free the cutie marks of the main six. Starlight ends up trying to kill the villagers when Twilight pulls up a shield literally 1 second before the beam would hit them, and I actually went and looked at the time between the shield and the beam hitting the shield. It is literally 1 second. Great timing, Twilight. 1 second later and you would have had fried ponies on your hands. Twilight finally finishes her friendship speech and Starlight runs away, still not teleporting. We get a party and a means for a plot device in later episodes, and the story ends. Now I'm gonna go on to what I meant by the teleporting thing. It is an issue I had with every single time Starlight just decided to run instead of teleporting. She has the magic to rip off a cutie mark off another pony. Her special talent, as signified by her own cutie mark, is magic. Yet she chooses to run. We even see that while carrying the jars, she also has the ability to destroy a whole bridge, which would mean the expression that someone is probably going to say, oh, she was holding the jars with her magic so she couldn't teleport. It makes it completely void. Also, there's something I noticed about her cutie mark removing magic. As I mentioned before, the ponies lightened up as soon as they got their cutie marks back. However, another comparison is as soon as the cutie marks were removed from the main six, their colors dimmed, just like when they were discorded by Discord in the Season 2 premiere. That means Starlight's magic of removing cutie marks has some relation to Discord's chaotic magic. I'd like to see more go into this, but I doubt it's ever going to happen. Now that the story's done, let's talk about what I thought about the entertainment value of this episode. Overall, this episode is meant to send a chill down your spine, but not be a horrific. The atmosphere they provided is incredible, and will stay with the viewer until Starlight is finally found out. From the fact that everyone is watching them, to the plain welcomes to be equality amongst them all, it is safe to say that the whole village was actually a cult made by Starlight Glimmer. I know this sounds extreme, especially for MLP, but the fact that they were all accepting to be perfectly equal, and those who didn't comply were brainwashed into listening, is a perfect representation of a cult. Perfect equality, and everyone being the same. There is a song in this episode, and it is in a marching band style theme. First for this series, I believe. At first listen, it is a little dull, and not something I would listen to outside of the episode. However, in the episode, it fits the situation perfectly, going with the atmosphere and the ideals of a village. The humor of this episode is hit and miss. On one hand, we have funny jokes like the loss of countryisms from Applejack, and having her speak like a non-country person. I'm not being racist, it's just her thing. That and Spike stepping on Pinky's farm were both really funny. However, there were also lots of hurtful jokes in this episode, and talking down to characters in this episode. This actually really made me upset and cringe a lot. Almost all of the jokes that I just mentioned were pointed directly at Rainbow Dash. Rainbow is my favorite member of the main six, because I can relate to her in almost every situation and understand what she is going through. Throughout this episode, she is either always wanting to look for a fight with a giant monster or a huge threat. She is called out by every member of the main six as being the terrible and being rude in front of everyone. And even the villagers during the song point directly to her when we're talking about competition and winning, causing deceit. All of these jokes are on par with Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000 in levels of pissing me the right off. I hate jokes that are meant to hurt a character in some way or be at their expense. They treat Rainbow Dash almost as bad, if not worse, in this episode than Super Speedy Cider Squeezy 6000. Considering this episode is twice the length of the other one because it is a two-parter, I thankfully say that there were enough good moments of humor that balance out all these harsh elements of humor. Though the harsh elements of humor that pissed me off, honestly, still make me doubt the humor in this episode. Now for the animation and technical side of things. Everything moved very smoothly and flowed very nicely, from the map appearing to the new train animations to just the way the other ponies moved. There are many good moments of lighting and shading used throughout the episode to make the atmosphere grow or make situations look more believable as well. Though there was one spot where I noticed something off about the lighting. The Cutie map, as it's called, was able to make a slight glow appear on every character, no matter where they were in context of the map, let it be over top of it or to the side. All except for Rainbow Dash, who flies right over top of it, and there's not a single part of her glowing from the map under her. Not once did this ever happen. This is a small nitpick, yes, but it is something that I noticed nonetheless. The moral of this episode is that only through people's differences and working things out can people truly be able to accept friendship and of others and grow in a positive light. This is a very mature moral, if I do say so myself, and actually fits with a lot of adults who seem to keep to themselves or only stick with people that share common interests with them. It's a good moral to give, and honestly, I encourage more mature morals like this. Alright, so the story was unique and broke away from most of the other two-parter cliches. The humor was enjoyable at certain moments for me. The technicals blew me away, and we receive a great moral. Now, if I were to rate this episode, I would give it 6.5 general arc barks out of 8. And you thought I wouldn't take notice to that reference. Well, that's it for today. Have a great day, and expect the next 3 reviews to come out soon, since I kind of fell behind because of illness, as I said at the beginning of this. Anyway, take care. 0 out.